Alrighty, good morning everyone. Hello, and welcome to the stream. How's everyone doing today? Today is Sunday, the 19th of December, 2021, and I'm Darkside Phil, and I welcome you here to the PreStream podcast. We are full-fledged into Christmas week. There's no denying now that Christmas is right around the corner for all of us. Now, today is Sunday, and on Sunday, of course, many people are still kind of finishing up that final week of work before their nice holiday begins, right? And, me too. Me too. I'm here on stream with you guys, having a good time. Basically what we're trying to do is we're trying to wrap up ongoing playthroughs before we hit the Christmas Marathon event later this week, because the Christmas Marathon event looks like potentially it's going to start up several new playthroughs for us. And having those new playthroughs starting up, obviously the last thing we want to do is start them and then not be able to continue them, because I got to go back to 20 other playthroughs that I'm still doing that aren't done yet, right? So this is a good thing. Yesterday, we wrapped up the Halo Infinite campaign, which had a pretty good ending. Although admittedly it was a mix of like good gameplay, story, and rage. Okay? There definitely was some rage at the end, as basically the end of the Halo Infinite campaign plays way more similar to older Halo games than this new one, and basically forgets all of the innovations that they added to it for the last 4 hours. Like, you're stuck in this linear dungeon for like 4+ hours with no ability to really do much of anything that you've enjoyed doing. None of the open world exploration, none of the optional stuff that was added to the game. It's all forgotten for the big finale of the game. So anyway, I finished it up, which was great, because that now allows us to move on to new stuff, right? The Halo Infinite multiplayer will stay as a regular game in my rotation. I'm going to attempt to be playing it for about 2 times every week moving forward. Now, I do believe that if I do play Halo Infinite's multiplayer at least twice a week moving forward, I will continue to get better at it and do well at it. Last night, I did an impromptu stream of Halo Infinite multiplayer, which changed the schedule around, and we'll talk about that in a moment of why that happened. It went really well. They added in these new playlists now, where you can play the game mode you actually want, between Team Slayer, Free-for-All Slayer, Tactical Slayer, which used to be called SWAT, but now they call it Tactical Slayer, and Fiesta mode, which previously was only available as a limited time event, but now has been added permanently as a playlist type. So basically for 2 hours, I played through the new playlist, and it was very fun. I did really well. I was topping the leaderboards a lot, getting crazy kill streaks. I even won a free-for-all match. That was a really good one. We had a good time. And like I said, I'm getting better. The more I play it, I'm getting better at the usage of the weapons and aiming and everything. So it kind of is awesome, because it feels to me like I'm getting back into the groove like when I played Halo 3 many years ago. And I like the game to that level where I think I'd like to continue playing it as the multiplayer game, the competitive first-person shooter for 2021. Previously, it usually was Call of Duty that I played every single week, but I had a ton of fun over the last month and a half playing Halo Infinite, and I'm looking forward to playing it more. Now, here's the thing. Technical difficulties yesterday screwed up the Halo Infinite playthrough, alright? The stream went down without a hitch, okay? But I stayed extra to finish the Halo Infinite campaign by about 45 minutes to an hour, okay? So streamed a whole extra hour on top of what I would usually do. And I did that as a favor to the viewers. We were in the finale. They were like, could you keep going? Why break now and have to do this again for another hour at a future date? And I was like, you're absolutely right. Yeah, it'll definitely make things tight for me, because yesterday, incidentally, was a day when I had a lot to do between my streams. I had to make dinner, clean up after dinner, take a shower, set up the King of Fighters 15 demo, which is what I was supposed to be playing, all before the second stream. And I knew that it was going to be tight if I stayed extra to do all that stuff. But I said I would do it anyway. Let's just do it. Let's get it done, right? So I did, but did I foresee the crazy technical difficulties happening? No, I did not. So first of all, I go to upload the videos after the playthrough's done, and my computer's freezing up. And I'm like, what is going on? Why is the computer freezing up entirely? So I start going into Task Manager. It's telling me it's Windows Explorer. I'm like, Windows Explorer, that's like the core part of, you know, operating the Windows and having an interaction with it. Why is that airing out on me? And then as I was uploading the videos, I realized all the videos were uploading to YouTube except for part 13, which said waiting, 0%. Now, if I set up a video to upload to YouTube and it's showing a 0%, it means there's something wrong with the video. Because YouTube would just grab the video and start uploading it automatically once I select it, and it didn't do that. So I tried to play the video, and the video won't play either. The video just basically locks up my video player and Windows Explorer repeatedly. And I'm like, this is not good. Maybe it's something with my PC. So I ended up having to restart the whole PC. No, didn't fix anything. Come to find out, part 13 of Halo Infinite is corrupted. Alright, this happens very rarely. In the 13 years that I've been a content creator, almost never does it happen. You know, at this rate, maybe once a year. I mean, it's that rare. Like, once a year, I have a video that completely corrupts and is unplayable, uneditable, untouchable, essentially. Okay? Now, the last time that this happened was much earlier this year, and when this happened, I was able to take the stream archive that is sitting on YouTube. Usually what happens is I stream, and I leave that archive as unlisted, and then I set it to private. So now no one can really see it anymore when I set it to private. Then I upload the parts separately into digestible portions. You know, the PreStream podcast is its own part, and then each part of the playthrough is about an hour long. Okay, that's my formula for DSPGaming. I don't leave it as the entire raw stream, because the raw stream literally is so many pieces and components. People who are tuning in to see the PreStream podcast aren't necessarily also tuning in to see the gameplay. People who are here for the gameplay maybe aren't there for the podcast. When you watch one part of the gameplay, you don't want to watch the other 2 hours. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, this formula works, breaking it up into hour-long segments or whatever. It always has worked, so keep it up. But the good thing is, I have the PreStream archived, so that if I ever need to, I can rip a part out of it for a reason just like this. Oh, an hour of my gameplay corrupted? Shit. Alright, fine. Rip that hour of broadcast out of the archive on YouTube and then make it its own video. Supposed to be able to do that. Except yesterday, I went late. Right? I went an extra hour. Come to find out, YouTube has placed this weird, arbitrary criteria on a stream that if you have a stream that's a certain length, you cannot edit it at all. You can't shorten it. You can't cut it up. You can't do a damn thing to it. It says to you when you try to do it, sorry, your stream is too long. Now, did anyone know that? No one, in reality, almost no one uses the YouTube video editor. As I've explained to you guys many times, the YouTube video editor is terrible. It takes ages to do anything. There's times when I upload a video and it has a song in it, and then the video gets muted because the song, you know, content ID match or whatever. Okay, remove the song. Takes 15 hours to remove 3 minutes from my hour-long clip. It's bad. To say the least, it's bad. It's not effective. No one regularly uses that thing for anything because it's so bad. Okay? So I don't like using it, but if it's an emergency like I had yesterday, I'll use it. But it just sucked. It just doesn't work anymore. I couldn't do it. I couldn't even edit the stream down to the hour that was missing that got corrupted. So essentially it was a huge mess. What I had to do was I just uploaded parts 14 and 15, which were the last 2 parts of the Halo Infinite campaign. And then I made the stream, the archive stream, publicly viewable, which I never do. And I said, hey, if you want to see the actual full conclusion of Halo Infinite, you got to watch the archive stream and watch that hour only in there. It's the only way to watch it right now. Okay? Now, in the meantime, overnight, people started sending me emails. I think 2 or 3 people actually went out of their way, watched the raw, unedited stream, and downloaded it off of YouTube, which, to my knowledge, you're not supposed to be able to do. Like, I'm almost positive YouTube has a block. Like, they don't just let you download off of YouTube. But there's been a ridiculous amount of third-party sites and applications that have allowed you to just rip content off of YouTube over the years, even though technically that's illegal. It is. Anything that's uploaded to YouTube, just so you guys know, in case you're interested. And by the way, no, I would never I would never do anything against anyone who ripped a video off my channel and used it for anything. I'm not like that, okay? I just want to understand. No, just because I'm saying this on the stream and telling you like it is legally doesn't mean that anyone's at risk because they've pulled a video off my channel, okay? But the moment that you upload a video or piece of content to YouTube, it is protected by copyright law. YouTube has this blanket thing where if you upload to YouTube, your original work is protected by copyright law. Now, of course, that doesn't give you immunity against copyright law from other companies, which is why there's content ID matching and all of that shit that takes place on YouTube. But the moment that you have something on your channel, you own it and is protected by copyright. No one has a right to steal it off your channel, claim it as their own, or use it without your permission, unless it's protected under fair use. And of course, that's where everyone gets into arguments. Oh, what is fair use when it comes to videos on YouTube, and how much can you use, and blah, 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 blah. We won't get into that this morning. But anyway, yeah, a few people took it upon themselves overnight to download the raw archive stream off of DSPGaming, and they custom edited that video to be the hour that was missing, and then sent me the file. The problem is, some people, when they did that, it blocked it. Because when you send a big file via email, it gets blocked. So I had a couple people say, oh, here's the file. And I go to look at it, and the file doesn't work. Like, it's blocked. It says, oh, this was blocked. Oh. Like, probably the file was too big. And then a couple other people, like one guy said, here, I managed to do it, but the only way I could do it, it's 30 frames per second instead of 60. So you'll get the hour, but it's going to be a much lower frame rate than what you were playing at. I thank all of you for doing that. I have not even had a chance to really review all of it yet. This happened overnight. I woke up this morning, I had a bunch of emails in my inbox. Oh, here's some videos, you know. Oh, shit. So I haven't had a chance to even look at it yet. When I get a chance, I'll look and I'll see that any of those videos work and look good enough that I should upload it to DSPGaming and have it part as the official arc or the official playthrough. We'll see. And you know what? That was very nice because people basically are trying to do something nice for me. I really appreciate that the community jumps on stuff like that. Like, oh man, Phil's having a rough time with something. Let's try to help him out, right? That's nice. Thank you so much. I was just talking about this yesterday. This is the holiday spirit, right? We're now in the time of the year. Everyone should be thinking positively and thinking, how can I help others? How can I do nice things? That's a really nice thing people try to do for me, and I appreciate it. I don't know if it's going to work out. I got to see what happened with those video files before I upload anything, but thank you for trying, okay? And we'll see what happens. Maybe today, tomorrow, I'll have a chance to look at those video files because more than one person sent it and see, are they good enough, okay? Pretty good. Now, some people say, well, why can't you just edit it yourself? Because I don't have a video editor. I haven't had a video editor in years. When I became a full-time streamer in 2017, okay, I stopped paying for Sony Vegas. I think that's what it was. I had a yearly subscription to a video editing program, and I stopped paying it because I said I'm a streamer now. I don't have a reason to edit. Everything that I edit, I could do on the fly. I can now basically, on the fly in OBS, I can do my editing. So, for example, this year, at the end of the year, I'm going to be doing the best games of 2021 Countdown and the worst games or most disappointing games of 2021 Countdown, right? I'm going to do that as a live stream, record it in OBS, and then upload it to YouTube. I'm not going to sit and edit a video in a video editor. You know, I did that. I've been there, done that. I had a whole year of my life where half of the time I was sitting and doing edited videos for KO Gaming. It was a great time. I really enjoyed doing it, but it was very time-consuming, and eventually it was proven that it wasn't worth it because YouTube destroyed that style of content for me on the internet. And I already talked about that a few days ago, actually. I talked about the history of KO Gaming on this very podcast. I don't need to go back and retrace those steps, okay? So, that being said, could I edit the stream so that I cut out the hour of gameplay? Yes, I could right now, but it would take an hour of real time to do it. So, for example, what I would do, I would download the raw stream from YouTube, which, by the way, in itself would take a long time because I'm the owner of the video file. YouTube would allow me to download the raw file. Okay, so I could do that. Put that raw video file as a video source in OBS, what I use to broadcast and record, press play, fast forward to the hour of missing footage, hit record, and in real time, OBS would record the footage from the archived stream, okay? And then after the end of the hour, I would have to be in there to hit stop recording. Now I have the hour of footage, and now I can re-upload that hour of footage, okay? That's the only way that I would be able to edit that video myself, all right? Now, are there free video editors out there? Yes, they suck. I've used 2 of them. They are trash. They are completely bad. You try to use it, it crashes half the time. You try to edit a video or cut a video, it takes like 20 hours. It's ridiculous. I had this one that people had recommended to me for years. When I got rid of that subscription years ago, people recommended, here, get this free one, get this free one. So I got them all. They're all bad. They suck. And it's okay, I understand they're free. That's why they suck. But they take forever and they have a lot of issues. That's why I just basically gave up on video editing unless I was going to do it full time or I was going to do it as a major thing. I was like, why bother with it? Now, eventually, I might do something again. You know, when I get a new PC or something, maybe it's always good to have that capability, to have that ability to cut a video up or edit a video on the fly if you're having an issue. I haven't had that in 4.5 years. So, you know, but thank you guys for people who jumped on that, tried to help me. I'll see what happens. Like I said, there's no big rush. It is viewable on YouTube as the raw stream archive. So it's not like the gameplay cannot be seen at all. It's just, it's kind of a hassle to see it. I'll see what I can do. I'll take a look at these videos people sent me and see if any of them are good enough. Okay. Oh my God. Excuse me. Woo. Okay. All right. So that happened yesterday. Now, because that happened yesterday, right, I'm sitting here. Not only was I an hour late on the first stream to finish, then I ended up being stuck in the office for almost an entire extra hour because I'm trying to upload. I'm restarting my PC. I'm doing all this shit and nothing's working. I'm like, what the frick, right? So by the time I got out of here, it was basically time. If I was in my normal schedule, I would have already made dinner, eaten dinner, and would be in the shower. So I'm like, I don't think we're playing King of Fighters tonight. For those who don't know, the King of Fighters 15 beta is running only for this weekend. It started sometime like midday on Friday, and it's running all day Saturday, all day Sunday. It ends on Monday morning. This is exactly the same schedule they used a month ago when they did the first wave of the beta, okay? Since it's so restricted, you're on a time frame to do it. I want to do a full 2+ hour stream. Last time when I did it, I had barely just enough time to try out the different characters, okay? In fact, I would argue I didn't really have enough time. I really only just played with, I would say with Kyo, Iori, Chizuru, and Chris. I didn't even really get to play that much with Shermie or Yashiro because of time constraints, okay? Now, this time around, it's 6 new characters, right? So I want to play with all of them. I want to have a full 2-hour stream. I didn't want to say, oh, we're doing King of Fighters tonight anyway, but by the way, I have to rush the stream because I'm starting super late now. So instead, I said, let's just do an impromptu stream of Halo Infinite multiplayer, which we did, and it worked out very well. It ended up being very entertaining. I did really well in it, and that footage is live right now on DSPGaming. But then instead, we're going to do it tonight, okay? So here's what we're doing. Today, the main gameplay stream is the conclusion of Grand Theft Auto Vice City Definitive Edition. What do we have left in Vice City after, I think at this point, I'm like 16, 18 hours into the playthrough or something like that? Number 1, we've got the Love Fist missions, which we haven't even touched yet. That leads into the biker missions, so that's a series of story-based missions we have to do. We got the rest of the Malibu Club missions, which I just unlocked the Malibu Club. I only did the first mission, so we still have a couple more missions to do for the Malibu Club, I believe, okay? Then, I can either go straight towards the finale, which is a series of missions, or depending on how much time we have, I have the option to go a little bit extra. And, gee, do I want to maybe try the Vigilante missions, which I haven't tried yet? Are there any other assassination missions that are left or unlocked? I don't know. I don't remember how that works. I've only done 3 so far, I think. So we'll see. We'll see what happens today. But someone even said, are you sure you're beating it today? Unless I really have an issue with a mission or two that I can't beat. Which at this point, I know some of the missions can be tricky at the end, but I don't remember any mission being ridiculously difficult at the end that I just can't beat. I've beaten the toughest mission, the mall mission, the jail breakout mission. Like, those are some of the hardest ones in the game. I already did them. So I think that we're past the height of difficulty for the playthrough. Okay. I think we're going to beat it today. I do. And it'll be fun. It'll be a good finale for the playthrough. Now, just to forewarn everyone, apparently this game, which I didn't know, has multiple songs that block videos on YouTube. I knew about the Blondie song because that had already happened. Then last time we played that song, what's it called? 99 Balloons. That one got blocked too, and the whole video's blocked. I'm like, oh my god, this fucking YouTube music bullshit is a fucking pain in the ass. I can't believe they haven't figured this out yet. That sometimes there's a video with a song and it gets blocked. Other times, you just get a content ID match. Sometimes, they send some guys in suits to your house. They beat you up, kick you in the balls, and slap you around and say, don't use the song. Don't do it. Don't do it. Like, come on. Can't we just have a blanket way it's handled so you don't have to fix this shit after the fact because they're being stupid? You know what I mean? With Drede says you might just have to avoid Wave 103 altogether today. Yeah, that seems to be, for some odd reason, that radio station is the one that has music that fucking keeps getting either claimed or blocked on YouTube. Stupid. So, we'll see, but today should be the conclusion of Vice City. Now, by some freak chance, if we finish way early, somehow I turbo through all these missions and we beat it in like an hour, hour and a half, yeah, I have the capability. We can jump into GTA 3 Definitive Edition if we want. I really don't foresee that happening. I think that it will probably have enough to fill the entire stream, and it shouldn't be a big problem. Okay? All right, cool. All right, and then later tonight, the late stream at 6:45 p.m. Pacific time will now be the King of Fighters 15 beta stream that was supposed to be yesterday. It's now today. Okay? Oh. I'm very sorry. I did it again. I burped right in the penguin's face. Excuse me. So, that's the deal for today's streams. It's good. Now, here's the thing. Now that we know what's happened with Halo, it's done. Stick a fork in it. Boop, campaign's done. Now, I can figure out what I'm doing for the rest of the week. So, allow me to explain what I'm doing for the rest of the week, because this is a pretty exciting festive holiday week. Tomorrow is Monday. That's right. This week, we didn't skip Monday. It's actually still happening after Sunday. So tomorrow is Monday, and on Monday, I am doing a major stream in the daytime of Lost Judgment. Oh, hold on. I know. Some people are going to freak out about this. They're going to be like, what? Lost Judgment? You're still playing that piece of shit? You are? You're still playing that terrible fucking game? You've been playing this since September, Phil. What the hell's your problem, man? On the main streams, we demand AAA style games. We demand exciting playthroughs. We demand action, rage. We want progress. We want struggle. We want big, popular games. How dare you play Lost Judgment on your main gameplay stream? Who do you think you are? The person who owns and operates your own business or something? Yes, that's who I think I am. Now listen, I'm well aware that having a day where I'm not going to do Lost Judgment as a night stream, but instead I'm going to do it as a daytime stream, is going to do two things. First of all, there's many people who only watch the streams at night, okay? And they're not going to be able to watch it because it's during the daytime. All right? That's number one. I understand that. I know that's going to happen. There's regulars. There's someone who is a regular supporter of the Lost Judgment streams, a major supporter, says they can't make it if I do it during the daytime. That's number one. Number two, you're going to have people who are going to be here for the daytime stream who are regulars that only attend my daytime streams. They actually don't care what I play. They're here just to chill with me more than caring about the game. And there is a group of people who are like that. I know, it's shocking, right? People, wait a minute. people attend Phil's content and streams because of him, not because of the game he's playing. Yeah, there's a very small group, maybe like 2 people. But there's people who do that. They actually like me. There's 2 people on Earth who like me. The rest of the people are just fucking, you know, totally ripping me a new asshole constantly. But at least those 2 people are here, and they'll be here for Lost Judgment, except they'll also be disappointed. Because they're going to be like, man, I usually, you know, Lost Judgment's a late stream, and particularly we don't like Lost Judgment. So now I'm going to complain. So we're going to have people complaining because they can't watch it because they can only be there for a late stream, right? We're going to have people complaining because they're here to hang out with me, but then they don't like the game I'm playing. And then we're just going to have people complaining. That's just normal. We just have people complaining no matter what I do. I could be doing the most popular game, playing it at a high level, putting out entertaining content, raging. I could literally be handing every viewer $100, and people would still complain. This is how it is. Trust me, 13 years of content creation, I'm used to it, okay? So all that being said, why am I doing Lost Judgment as a main gameplay stream tomorrow? Well, because I'm contrarian, ladies and gentlemen. And contrarian does what people don't want. They go against the grain. So they do everything to piss people off. Yes, sure, that's why I'm doing it. No. If you haven't noticed, Lost Judgment is a game that I've been playing since September. Yes, it is a 60-hour-long playthrough right now. I would like to finish the game this year if possible. But we don't have much time. There's only 12 days left in the year. I joked that I would not beat it this year. But now here we are. Isn't it funny how stuff kind of works? The jokes become reality. And next thing you know, I'm 72 years old. I got hair growing out of my ears that looks like giant gray bushes. My balls are dangling down to my ankles. And I'm still playing the final school story of Lost Judgment. It's ridiculous at this point. All right? So, I have to push forward in a way that I can advance with this game and try to finish it. Okay? But at this point, I need to put more time into it. Playing it the 1 to 2 times a week as a night stream, only getting like 4 hours of gameplay, I'm not finishing the game. I'm trying my damnedest. In fact, the last few streams, I finished up the dancing club, the bike club, the boxing club. I thought I finished another club too, but maybe I didn't. But anyway, I'm getting to there, but it takes too long. It's too time consuming to get through this shit. And the thing is, I want to see the conclusion of the School Stories plotline, which is completely a separate plotline from the main one of this game. My wife played this game in September. She sunk a ridiculous amount of time into it and never got to finish the School Stories because they were too time consuming and tough. So I want to do it. That's right, Barely Legal. He says, stop trying and do. There is no try, only do. And the only way that I will do this is to play the game more, which means I need to play it on a stream that's longer and has more time to play it. So even though everyone will be unhappy with me, absolutely everyone will be unhappy with me, I'm playing Lost Judgment tomorrow. Tomorrow will officially be the most unhappy stream of the year. Everyone's going to be upset, crying, wailing, gnashing of teeth, pulling of hair. Everyone's going to be upset, but we got to do it. Okay? So, tomorrow's main stream is Lost Judgment. What are we doing? The stupid-ass girls bar. We're continuing with the robotics club. We're going to do the photography club. We're going to basically try to push forward as much as humanly possible in the game and finish the school stories if possible. Don't know if it's possible to finish them in 3 hours, but we're damn well going to fucking try. I may need a fucking drink to do it. Seriously. But I'll do my best. I hope you guys will join the stream. At the very least, let me put it this way. We're all going to get a laugh at how cringeworthy some of this content is. The Girls Bar is some of the worst content put out in 2021 video games. It's literally, we realize that the Japanese customer base, there's a group of them who love these dating sim games. So we're putting the dating sim into our game, even though it literally has absolutely fucking nothing to do with the plot of Lost Judgment or even the side content plot you're doing it for. It's literally a completely separate entity that feels out of place and doesn't belong in the game, but it's in there because these fucking people keep demanding it as fan service. Okay? So we're going to go through it tomorrow. We're going to try. All right, we'll see how it goes. Hopefully we can get through most of the bullshit. I really don't want to do it, but I have to if we're going to see the end of this fucking thing. Okay? Okay. So that's tomorrow's main gameplay stream. I can't wait for everyone to complain during the stream. Tomorrow night, I will entertain you with a fun late night session of Halo Infinite multiplayer. Last night's stream went really good. It was very fun. I kicked ass. I'm looking forward to more on Monday night. Okay? Then on Tuesday, I'm ending my consecutive streaming week with a bang, not with a whimper, as we start up the Grand Theft Auto 3 Definitive Edition playthrough. That's right, the last game in the trilogy that I haven't played yet. We're going to wrap it up with the first one. Arguably, this is the one that needs this Definitive Edition the most. It is outdated by modern standards. The missions didn't have checkpoints. The missions forced you to kind of save in weird places, and I really feel like this is the one that will do the best with improved controls, improved graphics, all of that. So, that starts on Tuesday. Then Tuesday night, I'm doing more Lost Judgment. Because once we get through the school stories, okay, there's the finale of the school stories, which is its own plot line of investigating this criminal, the professor. And then you can actually head into the finale of the story of the game. We're in chapter 11. The game only has 13 chapters, and those final story chapters are very fast-moving with a lot of developments and things, and it ends. So if I do a major stream of Lost Judgment tomorrow and a nice stream of Lost Judgment on Tuesday, potentially I'll be setting myself up for the finale of the game within the next week, which means I could possibly beat it in 2021. There's no guarantee, but at least I'll be putting myself in a much better position than before, where it looks like it's just never fucking ending. Okay? Dana Pink says, can I not just do what I did to Divinity 2 with Lost Judgment? No, because I actually like Lost Judgment. Divinity 2 was fucking boring. Seriously, and listen, I can understand people who like that kind of game, as I said when I was playing the game. If you're someone who gets completely immersed in a game world, if that's the only game you're playing for like a month, and every day you're committing to playing several hours of Divinity 2, and you're getting into the role-playing and the characters and the combat of it and everything, I can understand why you like that game. Divinity 2 does not work for a streamer like me who's playing it as a variety game with a variety of other games and only playing it a couple times a week. The game is too fucking long, too slow-paced, and it just becomes incredibly boring. So there you go. All right. That's the streaming week. Okay, I'm off from streaming on Wednesday. I'm never coming back. I'm actually going to move to the Cayman Islands. And I'll be living there sitting on a beach with my wife, Kat. We'll be sipping Mai Tais and relaxing as the ocean waves come in. You know. For those who don't know, I'm selling DSPGaming outright for about $2 million, $3 million. And it's going to be enough to carry me for the next 10, 15 years, so I don't need to work. Christmas in the Caymans. Right. Right. Anyway, I'll be back on Thursday for the Christmas Marathon event. The Christmas Marathon event should be very exciting. We're going to be streaming all day long on Thursday. I'll be in festive holiday attire, including several different Christmas sweaters and hats. I'll be drinking. What will I be drinking? Probably some eggnog, probably some Irish cream or something like that of some sort, and maybe even some hard liquor, depending on what I can find at the liquor store when I have my day off on Wednesday. All right? We'll be playing a variety of games. One game that's guaranteed to be played is called The Forest, which apparently is a horror survival game. Sounds very festive, doesn't it? That's what the channel members voted for. But in the meantime, you guys are voting right now on the games that will be played during the Christmas Marathon event. So please continue to vote. How do you vote? If you look at the main channel page of DSP Gaming, you will see that there are games available to be voted on. And the games are as follows. Okay, the games are as follows. Call of Duty Vanguard, Battlefield 2042, Catherine, what? Those aren't the games. How? Someone hacked my YouTube page. I'm kidding. Those are not the games. The games are as follows. As nominated by you, the viewers, these are the games that are currently being voted on. Portal 2, Dead by Daylight, The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, Shantae, the half-blood, or half-genie hero. I said half-blood. I think half-blood prince like Harry Potter. And Resident Evil 4. All right? Now, this poll will actually be running until my day off, which is Wednesday, okay? So you still have a few days to vote if you haven't voted yet. But just to give you guys some idea, over 2,000 viewers have voted. Actually, I should rephrase that. Over 2,000 people have voted. Possibly several thousand are not actually viewers. They're just assholes who said, oh, there's a poll on the internet? I got to vote on that. What are these? I never heard of these games before. Let me just click randomly. Right? It's possible. I would hope that the people who voted are actually viewers of my content and they're voting for stuff they want to see coming up. Because here's what happens with these marathon events. Very frequently, games that get voted in end up being full playthroughs. Give you a perfect example. For Halloween, people nominated and voted for a game called Visage. I liked it so much, I played the whole game that week. I went the first week in November, I played through the entire game. It blew me away. I think Visage is one of the best horror games I've ever played in my life. Seriously, it was so good. If you didn't see the playthrough and you like horror, oh my God, you're missing out. Go watch the playthrough. It's super good. Okay? So in this case, these playthroughs, these games, excuse me, could lead to full-on playthroughs. Okay? Now, what games are leading? Currently, Portal 2 has 13% of the vote. Dead by Daylight has 22% of the vote. The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim has 33. It's 1/3 of the vote. Shantae, Half Genie Hero, 7% of the vote. Poor Shantae. And then, Resident Evil 4 has 25% of the vote. So if we're just going by what's leading now, it looks like the two games that will be played on Christmas, during the Christmas marathon, will be the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim and Resident Evil 4. I already looked into them. Skyrim is available on Game Pass completely for free, and it's an optimized version for the Series X that has full 60 frames per second. That's awesome. Remember, I only played Skyrim as a new release 10 years ago when it was released for PC, and it was full of bugs and glitches and frame rate issues and nonsense. It was still one of my favorite playthroughs of all time, but man, it didn't feel polished when I played it, okay? Resident Evil 4, I only played once 8 years ago. That's now available. You can get it for $8 on Xbox Live. Cool. So all of these games, and by the way, Dead by Daylight I already own. I own it on Xbox. So if that ended up winning and getting into the marathon, I could just re-download it. And I think that also has been optimized for the Series X. Runs at 60 frames. So, cool. This is good for me. Now, I know some people are kind of like confused because I had said for years and years, people had said, Phil, will you go back and will you play Skyrim again? We'd love to see you go back and do a second run in Skyrim. First of all, your first run in Skyrim was on PC, but it was before direct capture. So your playthrough looks like ass. Like your playthrough looks like you were actually playing the game inside of a cave, inside of like Satan's butthole. Like it looks disgusting. What the fuck did you do? Why does it look so bad? Because back then I used to have a camera that I would point at the television and record that way. So even though I was playing on PC where the game looked great, the playthrough looked like shit because I was using a camera to record it. At the time, it was my longest playthrough as well. So people were pretty upset that it's a super long playthrough and it looks terrible. Okay? So that's number one. Excuse me. Number two, this version of the game has a new anniversary update that's $16 and it has new content. Actual new plot lines, the ability to fish and do other side activities that weren't in the original game. You guys know how much I love fishing in video games. So, you know that I would love to do some virtual fishing in Skyrim. I used to be an adventurer until someone showed me how to fish, and now I'm a professional angler, and I'm never killing a dragon ever again. I'm just going to fish here. Likely that's what would happen to me. So please keep voting. All right. But let's see what happens. And I'm happy to play any of these games that are in the top 3 for Christmas. But likely it's going to be probably Skyrim and Resident Evil 4 unless the voting completely flips on its head. All right. Now, the funny thing about this is we were talking recently about what am I going to be doing soon for playthroughs. There was a couple ideas. Some were, well, why don't you check out some games on Game Pass? There's this new game, The Gunk, that just came out on Game Pass. Although, admittedly, I haven't heard much hype about it. By the way, The Gunk is 4 hours long. So, it's definitely a Game Pass game. You know what I'm saying? 4 hours long. Gee, I wonder why it's free on Game Pass. Some people, I was talking about maybe playing Serious Sam 4 that just recently released on Game Pass. Definitely one of the ones that I'm considering is doing the full playthrough of Condemned Criminal Origins, which people have told me it only take about 2 streams to finish up from what I did on Halloween. So maybe I'll do that. But outside of that, kind of we didn't have any concrete ideas of what to do in January yet. But dude, Resident Evil 4 and Skyrim sounds like a great combination to me. Survival horror paired with arguably the best open world fantasy game ever created. I'm down for that. Now here's the thing, and I already told you guys. I can basically play those games over the course of January, and I feel I would finish Resident Evil 4, but we all know how long Skyrim is. At the time when I played it 10 years ago, it was the longest playthrough I had ever done. There is no possible way I'm beating Skyrim within January, especially the way that I play games. As you know, I'm a variety streamer. I balance the games I play. I'm going to be playing GTA 3 and balancing that with this other stuff. So with that being said, I really don't feel like we would finish Skyrim in January. Likely what we would do is play Skyrim at my own pace, a big open world, doing all the side missions, the content, wandering around dungeons, re-immersing myself in the whole Elder Scrolls universe again. Okay, which I know I'm going to love because I fucking loved that game when I played it 10 years ago. It was my game of the year. Fus Ro Da, motherfucker. Remember the Game of the Year countdown I did? It was Batman Arkham City versus Skyrim. And it looked like Batman was going to win. And then I said, Fus Ro Da, motherfucker. And I blew away Batman Arkham City off the screen. That was a cool video editing effect I did back then. I can't do that anymore. But that was pretty cool 10 years ago when I did that. So anyway. Yeah. I don't think I would finish it, but I would like to put a lot of time into it in January. Have a nice, chill, open world playthrough with you guys, just like I did Fallout New Vegas over the summer. But it's going to have to go on hold, because February is insane. Sifu, Horizon Forbidden West, Dying Light 2, Elden Ring, The King of Fighters 15, just off the top of my head. 5 high-profile releases coming out in February. I'm going to have to put Skyrim on hold while I play those. All right? But I could always come back to it after all that stuff calms down and resume the playthrough, and it wouldn't be any problem, I don't think. I think people would be okay with that. It's an old game. It's okay to put an old game like that on hold and then come back to it at a future date. Okay? So, that's what it's looking like. What we're going to do, we're going to have this fun Christmas marathon on Thursday, and then those playthroughs are going to turn into full playthroughs that I end up doing basically either very late December or early January, and I'm going to balance that with GTA 3, which I'm already starting on Tuesday. Likely, I'm also going to do Condemned Criminal Origins and finish that. So that's 4 games already to juggle, and then after that, we'll figure it out what else I need. Okay? Wow! Excuse me. Oh my God. Whew. Whatever you do, do not light a match in this room. Whoa. That was crazy. All right, let's continue. All right, what else is going on during the Christmas Marathon event? Well, there will be a live episode of Feasting with the King. Ladies and gentlemen, starting tomorrow, you will be able to vote on the cuisine that I will be eating on Feasting with the King. The choices are as follows: Burger King, McDonald's, Wendy's. And if we go to Wendy's, we're getting the family chili feast. is what I would have said if I was some kind of a stupid, crazy, disgusting motherfucker trying to pull internet stunts here. That's gross, and fuck no. Absolutely not. The options are as follows, for real now, this time. Filipino food, Thai food, Vietnamese food. Around here where I live in Washington, there is a very dense Asian population, and the cultural foods of Asia are very prominent here in the restaurants and the cuisine that you'll find in my area. Personally, I would be excited to try any three of these cuisines. I've had Thai food once or twice before, but never really delved too far into it. I've had Vietnamese food once or twice before, but every time I had it, all I had was pho. I never tried anything else off of a Vietnamese menu, including their very famous banh mi sandwiches and stuff like that. I never tried them. I've never once in my life had Filipino food. So, I'll be excited to try any of those. And I'm excited to see what you guys will actually vote for over the course of the next few days. When I set up that poll, it'll be Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. You guys will be able to vote. And then live on the Christmas Marathon event Thursday, first thing, we'll sit down, see what won, and actually go online and order food for delivery that day. And we'll do a live meal together like I've done with Feasting with the King over the course of this year. This will be episode 4. Yeah, because episode 1 was Indian food, where I had goat curry and the tandoori chicken. Episode 2 was Sonic, where I did a foot-long coney dog and a burger that sucked, and the cheesy jalapeno poppers, which were really good. And then episode 3 recently, which was only a month or 2 ago, during the Halloween event, was Mediterranean food, where I tried falafel and hummus together, and it was the most amazing flavor combination. I'm not exaggerating. That was the most robust, fulfilling, amazing flavor combination I've ever had in my life. And I haven't had Mediterranean food since. I'm kind of holding off because when I go again, I want to be able to get that combination again. But I'm purposely pacing myself before I get Mediterranean food again. I couldn't believe how good it was. I was fucking shocked that I had never had that flavor combination before in my life. Okay. All right. Then also, during the Christmas Marathon event, the finale is going to be a live DSP Tries It, where I do not 1, but 2 different holiday-themed things for the event. So just think about this. In the morning, I'm in festive attire. I start to drink. We have a fun pre-stream. We order food together. We start playing games. Probably, arguably, it's going to be Skyrim, Resident Evil 4, or The Forest. So we play a game or two, take a little break, play another game. Okay, the food arrives. Live episode of Feasting with the King. I drink some more. We play the third game. And then at the end of the night, when I'm probably drunk as shit, then we do the GSP Tries It. So it's going to be a very fun event on Thursday. I hope if you can join me on the Thursday the 23rd, please do. The reason I do it on the 23rd is that way there's no way that it will hopefully interfere with your holiday plans. Many people have plans for Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. That's why I always have it set a day or two earlier. Okay? If you can't be here for the stream on Thursday, I'm very sorry. You will be missing out on a really cool event. And, you know, you should just cry yourself to sleep tonight that you're going to miss it. But that's why I record and archive the stuff so you can watch it on demand later. And I will be doing that for you guys. What is going on over here? Hold on a second. No, it's working. Okay. Sometimes I get paranoid because sometimes my YouTube page freezes. And I want to make sure it didn't freeze. It didn't. Okay, it's fine. Never mind. It should be a great event. I'll record it and upload it in portions. Likely it'll be like PreStream podcast, first game, second game, Feasting with the King, third game, DSP Tries It, in that order. Those will be the videos that I upload that day. All right? It's going to be great. I hope you guys will join me. And then, will I be here on Christmas Eve? Yes, but only for one stream. It's going to be a holiday-themed Q&A show. Ask the King, Christmas edition, on Friday. It'll only be one stream. Because that night I'll actually be celebrating Christmas Eve with my wife. We're going to have a dinner together. And then Christmas Day I'll be spending with my wife as well. I will not be streaming then. But then when I return on Sunday, we're going to jump right into full-time gaming again. Sunday, I actually don't even know what game to play. Because if we play Skyrim, Resident Evil 4, and we've got GTA going, I don't even know what game you guys are going to want to see on Sunday. I think there's going to be arguably groups who are going to want to see all of them. So maybe what I'll do is when I adjourn on Christmas Eve, I'll put up a poll here on the channel. What game do you guys want to see first on Sunday? And based on your votes, That'll determine the order that we play. So if Resident Evil 4 gets the most votes, I'll play that on Sunday. If GTA 3 gets the second most votes, I'll play that on Monday, you see? And if Skyrim gets the third most votes, I'll play that on Tuesday. The night stream, Sunday night, will be my Street Fighter stream for the week. I know that's weird, because I almost always play Street Fighter on Friday nights. I even call it Friday Night Fights. But because it's Christmas Eve, I'm not doing a night stream, so I'm going to do it immediately as quickly as I can, which will be Sunday night. And then, Monday, Tuesday nights, likely, will end up being, like Halo Infinite multiplayer and some Lost Judgment. Okay? It's going to be fun. I'm actually very excited, because I was worried. I was like, man, what are we going to do for year end? And what are we going to do for the beginning of January? And now I actually have sight of what I'm doing. By the way, as soon as I finish Lost Judgment, I can do my year end series. Because I need to finish the game. And when I finish the game, then I can determine what are the best games of 2021. How do I rank it? I can't rank it till I beat it. So that's what I'm focusing on. That why you also think why I'm playing so much Lost Judgment in the next week or two. Why am I doing a main stream of it tomorrow? That's another major reason why. I got to finish the damn game so I can do my Game of the Year awards. Okay? So that's coming. Awesome. All this sounds good, I hope, to all of you. Alright? If not, I'm very sorry. Like they say, you can please all of the people some of the time. You can please some of the people all of the time. But there's a group of assholes who just can never be pleased, and they will complain and crap all over you no matter what, and you better just deal with it, because it ain't changing. I've definitely learned that in the last 13 years. Okay? All right. Awesome. Okay, well, I'm just trying to think, is there anything else I really want to talk about? Not really. And the funny part was, I didn't have anything specifically to talk about on today's pre-stream, like news-wise. There's nothing going on. And I was like, man, I really don't know what to talk about on today's pre-stream. The pre-stream is now 52 minutes long. Man, I really had nothing to talk about today. Whew. So anyway, guys, do you guys, let me do this because I almost never do this. I'm going to do shout-outs, all right? Let me do the shout-outs for those who have done Super Chats. And then what I'd like to do for a short period of time, I would actually like to open up the stream to your questions and see if anyone has any burning questions they'd like to ask me before we get started with today's Vice City conclusion. But first, let's do these quick shout-outs. Shout-out to Barely Legal, who did a super chat and says, I like the way you've played Infinite. You beat the main campaign. Now you're getting pretty good at the multiplayer. Good stuff. I liked the campaign. I like the multiplayer even more. I'm having a great time with the game. It turned out to be way better than I expected. And I can promise you, it will be in my Game of the Year awards. The game is very good. Okay? Son Robin did a super chat. He says, skip side quest to finish Lost Judgment. Then I'm literally throwing away 20 plus hours of gameplay. Because the side stories themselves are 20 to 30 hours long, and I've almost finished them. So do you want me to throw away everything I've done just to rush through, and then I can't properly rank this game for my Game of the Year awards? Because unlike what a professional should do, I acted like a games journalist, and I skipped meaningful content in order to rush out a review early, so that way I can make a deadline and make a buck? Is that what you want? Okay, I'll do it. No, I'm not doing it. Fuck that. I'm not doing it. I'm not compromising my principles. Especially not during Christmas week. How dare you, sir? DTF Steak Fries did a super chat. He says, are there any games you or the rest of the chat can think of that are considered a holiday or Christmas time game? Like a game that you would always play during Christmas? Nah, what I would say is there are definitely certain games that have Christmas-themed stuff that happens. Like, for example, Fall Guys, right? That's a game. It's a party-style game. It's meant to just jump in and do a little bit of elimination. It's not a serious game. You know, you play that during the holidays. You know you're going to have winter-themed stuff, Christmas-themed stuff, right? Games like that. But outside of that, I don't know. Can anyone think of a game that definitively you think of, oh, I would only play this game during Christmas? Home Alone, maybe? On the NES or Super NES. But how many people go back and play those ancient games at this point, right? Not many, I don't think. By the way, one thing that I want to mention, I completely forgot to mention it on the pre-stream so far, but now I am going to, so then I guess I would have mentioned it on the pre-stream, is we actually had a rallying of members in the last day. We went up by like 5 or 6 members here. So, considering that we are now heading into the home stretch of the year, and also the fact that this is Christmas week, okay? Please consider becoming a channel member. We could do a major push this week, and maybe even on the Christmas marathon, so people will be inspired to become a member because of the amazing goodness of the crap that I will put out that day. Of course, everything else I do of the year, oh, that's trash. That's complete garbage. But of Christmas, man, you do a Christmas marathon, I'm becoming a member immediately, right? All I got to do is do a Christmas marathon every day. We would have 700-800 members overnight. Well, there you go. Anyway, thank you to those who've become a member in the last week. I really appreciate it. Now, a couple quick things before I open it up to open questions. There are new rewards available on the channel for tips this week in celebration of Christmas. This week, up and until including the Christmas events, if we raise $100 in tips, I'll put on a Christmas-themed hat. Either this one or my Santa hat are available. This one lights up. I changed out the batteries and everything for it. Incidentally, I announced this yesterday. I said, guys, this is awesome. We got a new hat in the running, and everyone on the pre-stream was like, wow, that hat's cool. I can't wait. And then we didn't hit Tip Skull yesterday at all. So we didn't see a hat. I also announced yesterday, hey, if we hit the full Tip Skull on any day this week, you guys can have me wear a nice festive Christmas sweater. Don't you want to see me wear a sweater with a bunch of cats trimming the Christmas tree? Look at this. Or how about a sweater of a fire-breathing dragon that I'm not going to bother picking up right now. It's right over here, right? And I'm like, oh, this is cool. And guess what? We didn't hit the goal yesterday at all, so there was no sweater either. Fuck. Right? So, it is what it is. I would love to wear some festive Christmas attire for you guys today, but I need some support on the stream. Now, typically, the GTA streams get some good support. People come in and they'll contribute. I'm not complaining. The whole 2 playthroughs so far of GTA have done pretty well, so it's certainly not a complaint or anything like that. But today is the finale of Vice City. It sure would be nice if for the finale of my favorite classic GTA game, if we could hit some goals and I could wear some festive stuff for the end game hijinks. As of right now, I take that back because I was actually about to say, as of right now, we have no tips whatsoever. Zero. But then as I was about to say that, Chicken Man tipped $1.50 and actually made a fool of me. So thank you, Chicken Man, for making a hilarious, embarrassing fool of me on my own stream. I always appreciate that. So here's what he said. Thank you for the tip. He says, I gave the GTA 5 DLC a chance. I figured they would put you in your own server for the DLC. Nope. I tried 2 times. Both times idiots are camping at the place for the first mission. They kill me every time. When I'm doing the mission, they were not so dumb. That's GTA Online in a nutshell. Like, that's why I don't fuck with it. It's meant to be an online social experiment where everyone just proves they're an asshole. Like, seriously, right? Every time I tried to play it, that's exactly what happened to me. Remember? People would hunt me down, follow me around, try to murder me, and fuck with me, so I couldn't play the game. How is this fun? You want to know the only way GTA Online is fun is if you're a nobody. If you're someone who no one knows who you are, no one's going to bother fucking with you, right? Then maybe you can actually get some gameplay in. But, oh, a new DLC? Ha ha ha, it's time to be a bunch of fucking Grinches, Scrooges, and fucking humbug assholes and ruin your experience by trolling the fuck out of you this week. Seriously, you might as well wait. You might as well just fucking wait 2 weeks when no one will be caring about the DLC anymore, and then play the DLC and you'll probably have a good time with it. But that's the fucking way that GTA Online has been since launch. You remember that? Since launch. Team Michael Gamer says, did I get any tips from his side? No. Team Michael Gamer, so far the only tip received today has been from Chicken Man, and it just popped in. Since you're saying that, now I'll check. No. Are you trying to... This sucks. Are you trying to send tips and it's not working? Because I don't see anything. Yeah. I'll double check. Now I feel bad. No, nothing. I double checked. Nothing. So, shit. That does suck. Alright. It is what it is. Ah! Guitar Player 1939. Deal with it. Deal with it. Because he just gave a $50 tip. Thank you so much, Guitar Player, for the support. I actually got to time that for the animation for the first time, like, ever. I was actually ready for it this time. I saw it happen live instead of playing a game. And I was able to actually time that. So there you go. So let me clean my glasses now. Thank you, Guitar Player, for a whopping $50 tip. That is very generous of you. Thank you, sir. Let's get that up on the leaderboard. That's a great start for sure. That makes me feel positive that we're going to hit the hat goal today. Shit. Ah, shit. What is going on? The keyboard's moving. Stop moving. I can't type if you're wiggling around. There we go. I have to fight my keyboard. All right. So thank you so much, Chicken Man, for the first tip. Thank you very much, Guitar Player, for the very generous $50 tip. Excuse me. And thank you, Team Ico Gamer, for even trying. Even though it didn't go through, I still appreciate you trying to support the stream. It is what it is, right? All right, let's see here. Team Terrorhawk says, would you ever get a Cash App? I don't even know anything about Cash App. I really don't. Everyone tells, oh, there's all these payment methods and payment apps and shit. I'm like, guys, listen. All right, number one. You can tip me. That's number one. Number two. You could pledge to my Patreon live on any day. You could do that, and that helps me. I get that immediately. Number three, you could do a super chat. Number four, you could do super sticker. Number five, you could become a channel member. Okay, that's 5 ways you can contribute to my streams. Why do I need 7 more? Phil, do you accept Bitcoin? Phil, do you accept Cash App? Phil, can I mail something to your house? Phil, can I meet you in the streets and hand you a $5? Why? I already have many ways set up that you can support this channel and support these streams. Why do I need another million times? Or another million ways, I should say. I feel like we're overcomplicating this whole situation. Okay? Thank you, Guitar Player. He's re-upped his membership for 7 months. I appreciate that, man. So not only the tip, but re-upping the membership, too. Thank you. Miley Warren Miso says, the only one question I have for you is, did you try the DNF Dual beta? No. It's hilarious because I'm getting the biggest mixed messages I've ever heard. So last night, I went online because I was curious, what's everyone's thoughts on this new game? It's supposed to be something with some dungeon fighter, but it's a fighting game, and they came out with a beta this week, the same exact time as the King of Fighters beta. And I'm like, gee, I wonder, does it hold up and stack up the King of Fighters or whatever? And some people seem to think the game is good, but most people online, at least on social media, are crapping on the game. And I'm not just talking normal gamers. I'm talking high-end content creators, known tournament-level players. Justin Wong just, like, overnight posted up a video that he saw a Japanese player do. There's a fucking infinite with the grapple character where literally all he has to do is hit you with a grab while you're in the air. You bounce off the ground, so then he does the grab again. And then you bounce off the ground, and then he does the grab again. And you bounce off the ground, and then he does the grab again. And then you bounce off the ground, and then he does the grab again. And you bounce off the ground, and then he does the grab again. And I don't think I need to keep repeating myself. I think you get the picture. There's an infinite. It's stupid. It's broken. Some people are actually saying it's not even, like, functional. They're trying to play it online. It's crapping out constantly. And other people are just saying, basically, it's completely broken and not competitive at all. Why did they even make this game? It looks like they don't know what they're doing, and they have, like, no innate knowledge of how a competitive game's supposed to be played, because it's fucked up beyond repair. Like, one character is a total ranged character with 1,000,000 guns, and literally could just shoot you the whole round. You can never get to them. But that's what I mean. Like, that's the game. It's not, oh, that was one style. No, the character just shoots you the whole round. You can't ever get to them. That's the character. There's no way around it. You just lose. So it's Deathstroke or Deadshot or, you know, whatever, all over again. You know? So anyway, basically, most people are saying it sucks. And it's hilarious because then last night someone goes, but Maximilian was streaming it and he got 35,000 viewers. Wow. Yes, Maximilian Dude. You mean one of the most popular people who streams any kind of fighting game content and variety content? Maximilian Dude could literally take a shit live on stream and bring in 35,000 viewers if he so wanted to. Like, it doesn't mean anything about the fucking game. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the worst argument I've ever heard about the quality of a game because a popular guy is making content of it and it's getting views. Who cares? Right? Doesn't mean the game is good. So anyway, I heard about the game. I was interested in, that maybe it's good, maybe it's not. And then I actually, I'm hearing it's terrible. Even top, pro players are saying, nah, the game sucks right now. This is really bad that they released this as a beta because it makes the game look bad. And they should have basically waited for the game to be developed a little more before they released a beta because it really doesn't look like a competitive fighter right now. It looks completely broken. So, there you go. All right. Team Ico Gamer has tipped me $20, so it did go through. Thank you so much, Team Ico Gamer. He says, if you Gal Ragnarok, the wording got screwed up in your tip. I don't know why, but I know what you're saying, so I'm going to paraphrase this. First of all, thank you, Team Ico Gamer, for the tip. This gets us up to $71 in tips. I forgot to add in Chicken Man there. We're at 71 already. Thank you, guys. So Team Ico Gamer says, if God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, and Elden Ring all came out on the same day, which game would you prioritize? Oh, wow. If they all came out on exactly the same day, exactly the same time, which would I prioritize? Well, first of all, okay, I actually have an answer for this. You would have to look at all three games and say, well, wait a minute. Let's say you couldn't decide, and you said, I would play 2 games at once. I've done that before. You guys remember the April Fool's special where I was playing 2 to 3 games at exactly the same time, and I actually won a match online of Street Fighter 4? That was a hell of a day. Let's say I was going to do something crazy. Like, man, I can't decide. I would play multiple games at the same time. You could not physically play God of War Ragnarok and Horizon Forbidden West at the same time because they're both PS5 games. So, immediately, comparing those 2 games, you have to eliminate one. And if Kratos was to face off with Aloy, Kratos would rip off both of her arms, shove them up her nostrils, kick her so hard she would be launched off the planet. So Kratos would win out, and definitely it would be God of War. And then Elden Ring, I could play on the Xbox Series X. So what I would do is I would simultaneously play God of War with my left hand and Elden Ring with my right hand. And I would have, each hand would be controlling the left thumbstick and clicking the bumpers and trigger like this. Or I could put them both flat down on my table. And I could control them like a top-down style control, which I've done sometimes. You do top-down control. I would play them both at once. What I would have to do is I would hook one up to one of my computer monitors over here, and I would hook the other up to my television over here. And I would play them both at exactly the same time. Horizon would have to wait, because Aloy got kicked in the ass and launched into the moon. So there you go. Chicken Man has now done a super chat and says, the biggest Christmas debate is Die Hard a Christmas movie or no? It's really not a debate. The debate is, do movies that happen during a certain holiday time actually constitute a holiday movie? I'll give you an example, okay? The original Spider-Man Sam Raimi movie from the early 2000s, the original Spider-Man, okay, actually took place during Thanksgiving. Norman Osborn sits down with Peter and Harry and Aunt May, and they all have Thanksgiving dinner together. They do. It's actually in the movie. So actually, if you're going by the criteria that solely a movie that takes place during a certain holiday is a holiday movie, then Spider-Man is a holiday movie, right? It's a Thanksgiving movie. But I guess really, the question really is, what is the theme of a movie? For example, Home Alone is a movie that takes place during the Christmas holiday, right? Kevin McAllister is left home alone by his irresponsible, completely distracted family, his parents, who basically should have all their children, you know, taken away by Child Protective Services. The way that they're treating these children is just preposterous. The fact that they would not save a piece of cheese pizza for Kevin is immediately, that's child abuse, and they should be all, you know, put into foster care. Of course, I'm joking. It's horrible. The foster care system is not very good in the United States, so I would never subject them to something like that. But anyway, the point I'm making here is the movie is about Kevin realizing that he loves his family regardless of their shortcomings and their flaws. That even though our family members may not be perfect at all times, and in a lot of cases they could disappoint us and mistreat us, you only get one family. And it's a movie about that ultimate realization, because it's not only for Kevin, it's also for his next door neighbor, the creepy old guy who everyone thinks is a weirdo. He also has a similar story where he doesn't talk to his daughter anymore, but then during the holidays he realizes, he reminisces, like, man, I really wish that we didn't have the falling out, and Kevin convinces him to call his daughter. And in the big finale of the movie, Kevin's parents arrive home and they have a heartwarming moment where they're reunited, and as that moment is happening, Kevin looks out the window, and completely by a freak chance that never would actually happen in real life, the neighbor is hugging his daughter, who he had called and reunited with for Christmas because Kevin had told him to. Okay? That's the true meaning of Home Alone as a movie. Okay? Now, there's other stuff that happens, like criminals get smashed in the face with hammers, their heads are burned, huge amounts of physical violence, gore, and you know, really bad adult-rated content happened in the movie. That's why it's infamously been, you know, banned in many markets. But is it a Christmas movie? The answer is yes. Why? Because it has a heartwarming moral story that basically is something that would be very pertinent for Christmas. On Christmas, a lot of us meet family and friends and are like, ah, fuck, I gotta spend time with Uncle Ned, that drunken, smelly dude who always wears fucking snakeskin boots and he has a mullet and he thinks it's still 1987. And he fucking acts like a jerk, and he talks about politics the whole time that he's at our house, and he drinks too much, you know. But then some people don't realize you should actually cherish those moments when you have them, because you might never have them again. You might have a falling out with your family. Someone could get sick and die. And that's happened to me personally. Like, I had those moments when I was a kid, and I took them completely for granted. And then years later, there was a falling out. My family stopped getting together at Christmas. And then later on, they all moved away from each other, and a lot of them have passed away, and now I don't have family anymore. And it actually makes me sad, because I didn't know what I had when I had it, and now I do kind of miss it. I actually wish that during the holidays I had family to get together with and maybe spend some time with, and I don't, you know? And I think that's the moral of the story of Home Alone, is that you should cherish what you have when you have it and not take it for granted, because even though some people might not be perfect, it might be annoying, there's still important people in our lives that we should not take for granted. Okay? So it is a Christmas movie. Die Hard is a horrible story of terrorists kidnapping people, taking over a building, brutal murders, gore, and a man whose feet get chopped up by glass. It is not a Christmas movie. It just takes place during Christmas. Guitar Player 1939 has tipped me $30. Ladies and gentlemen, with Guitar Player's tip, we have hit the hat goal already on the stream. All right? So I thank you all already for this great amount of support. We haven't even booted the game yet, and I really appreciate that. So, that being said, let's do the poll for the hat. We will have 3 options today. Which hat is festive best? Would it be the Let's Get Lit hat? Would it be the Santa hat? Or would it be the Punisher beanie? No matter what, we're getting variety in hats today. Instead of the same old pilot hat or cowboy hat that everyone always votes for, we're doing something special. Okay? All right. Ladies and gentlemen, please vote. What we're going to do, we're going to get started with Vice City, because I want to be sure I actually do finish it today. So we're going to get started here. Chicken Man says, Do you like National Lampoon Christmas Vacation? For me, it's my favorite Christmas movie. I love it. I think Christmas Vacation is probably my top 5 Christmas movies, which we could talk about on a pre-stream podcast this week. If you guys want to ask me, hey, what's your top 5 Christmas movies? I'll go through that. Now, we won't do it today because we're about to start with gameplay, but that would be a great topic for a future podcast. Ruby did a super chat and says, I see a lot of people these days taking out bank loans to afford Christmas gifts. Do you think this is a good idea? No, I don't at all. I think a lot of people live above their means, and then it comes back to bite them later. I was one of them. I really was. I was one of those people who I thought I was going to make a set amount of income for a certain amount of time, and I overspent when I moved out here 7-8 years ago, and got stuck in a rut and could never get out of it. And it, had serious, concrete repercussions for me, because I basically just massively overspent and went into monstrous debt. And in a lot of ways, my life will be screwed up for the next 8 to 10 years still, because of my inability to judge properly. Okay? So because of that, I do not recommend anyone go out there and rack up a bunch of debt to buy presents for people. I think that if you're in a situation where you can't afford to buy presents for people, maybe you should express that so they understand your situation, rather than being like, oh, look at me, I'm the hero of the family, right? And then next thing you know, you're ruining your own life. Okay? Go watch the movie The Great Outdoors, starring the great late John Candy, but as well Dan Aykroyd, where Dan Aykroyd basically was like the rich guy in the family, and he lost all his money in bad investments, but he pretends like he's still rich. So they're going out to do a camping trip, and John Candy, who basically has no money, he's like, oh, I brought some hot dogs, we're gonna grill them out. And Dan Aykroyd's like, what? Hot dogs? Those are made of assholes and elbows. We're going to have grilled lobster tails. And he pulls out lobster, starts grilling lobster at an outdoor camping trip. But come to find out, he was faking it, because he didn't have the money. He was taking out loans. He was doing credit to make it look like he's still rich, when in reality he had lost everything. Don't be like Dan Aykroyd in The Great Outdoors. Be honest. Be upfront with everyone, and people will respect you for it, as opposed to someone who's a liar. Chicken Man did a $2 super chat. He says, good on you to admit yourself you effed up. Not many do. I mean, dude, it would be pretty crazy of me to say I didn't screw up, right? Like, obviously, when I moved out here, I made assumptions that were wrong. I made assumptions that I was going to make the same amount of money, like, forever, or actually make more in the long run. And I didn't have anything to fall back on, because I ended up dumping all my savings and stuff moving out here. Admittedly, I spent way more than I thought I would. Like, I thought it would cost a certain amount to do the move, and it cost, like, double. Like, no exaggeration. But we're not going to go into that today. This is the end of the pre-stream, ladies and gentlemen, and we're about to start with the conclusion of Vice City. Thank you also very much for being here. Derek, it's good to see you here today. It's a snowy day in Toronto, Canada. It's interesting. How's the weather here? It is cloudy. I'm actually going to check, because I had the blinds down because it was very sunny. But if the sun's gone, I'm going to open the blinds again. Awesome. Let's do this.